Everybody. The topic for discussion is future of leadership, integrating strategy, finance and trust in the disruptive world. When we say future of leadership in the social service organization or political party or religious entity or association, society, corporate body, it can be anything. But today, in this afternoon session, we are interested in discussing leadership in the field of finance, financial leadership. It is pertinent to understand that there are three pillars which are shaping the future of leadership. Pillar 1, strategic agility. Pillar 2, financial stewardship. Pillar 3, deep-seated trust. When we say strategy, there is a shift from rigid planning to adaptive navigation, adaptability, no rigidity. When we say financial stewardship, there is a shift from mere reporting to value creation. When we say trust, deep-seated trust, it is the new currency. It is the new societal currency. Trust is as valuable, as important as currency. That means three pillars are strategic agility, financial stewardship, and deep-seated trust. To know more about all these things in detail, in depth, let us listen to expert in the field of finance, Mr. Mayappan, CFO of Tube Investments, Murugappa Group Company. Over to Mr. Mayappan.
Able to hear me? Okay. Good evening to all distinguished guests, senior professionals, industry leaders, members of IIA and MMA, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this one-day conclave jointly organized by both IIA and MMA. The theme leading with trust, the financial leadership, governance and strategy in a disruptive world. The theme is both timely and profoundly relevant, particularly for the finance, governance and assurance professionals who are navigating one of the most transformative periods in the modern business history. I sincerely thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to share thoughts and perspective with such distinguished gathering. I hope some of these insights will definitely contribute meaningfully to strengthening your leadership capabilities and strategic outlook in the years ahead. Can I have that presentation? Yeah. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the era where leadership and CFO roles are evolving together. There is a clear shift from functional excellence to enterprise leadership. See, right now the expectation from investors and regulators are continuously, it is increasing. It is not like the earlier days. Earlier days, the investors comes and discuss with you only the financials. They don't discuss about the strategy. Nowadays, what is happening? They talk to you about the strategy. They want to talk to you about the governance, how the company is shaping up, and say they want to understand the practices which we are doing, how the leadership is doing the role, how much time they are spending on the strategy, how much time they are spending on the existing business. These are all the types of questions that they are asking. That means it is not like the earlier days. The environment is totally changing. Whatever we were used to do earlier, the financial accounting and reporting and other things, that has been considered as a given. That has to be 100% has to be done, and the expectation from the investors and the regulators are totally different from what the investors are asking right now at this point in time. Yeah. See, the now new leadership model, this is what I'm just going to talk to you about it. Okay. See, the leadership is earlier used to be measured by quarterly performances. Nowadays, it is not with the quarterly performances, whatever is happening. Like I said earlier, what is the strategy the company is following, how the governance mechanisms are. These are all the things which is being regularly has to be followed, and we have to do that. And the leadership today is increasingly defined by an organization ability to build trust, inspire confidence, demonstrate resilience, and create long-term sustainable value. See, in the past, as I said earlier, we used to report financials, quarterly performances. We'll have investor calls. Investor calls, they only ask about the financial parameters. Now it is totally changed. Like another one more thing I just want to say, I am representing the TI. I am the CFO of TI. I have many subsidiaries under me. And in one of the subsidiaries, we are having private equity investors. The private equity investors, before coming to the coming and putting the money into the company, they always see about the governance, how the company is governed. They don't see first how the company is going to give profits, how much return they are going to take. That and all is secondary. First, they will see the governance aspect, whether the child labor is there in this, how we are doing all the activities, that independence is there for the independent directors, and auditors have their independence. Those things all, they verify everything. And there is a committee for the governance. That is very, very critical for them. They will evaluate that first, and they will put the committee once they put in the money. That committee meet every quarter and see all ESG activities, governance, environment, social, everything they will see whether we are in line with it. If we are not in line with it, they will ask us to correct it. That's the way it works. That's the way the world is changing at this point in time. See, the leadership credibility, I would like to say that it is not built during the period of stability. It is being done during the period of disruption. That's what we are in currently. See, I always say to my team and everywhere, in the disruptive world, sustainable growth belongs to organizations that can combine speed with integrity. Purpose-driven leaders prioritize governance, quality, risk awareness, and cultural integrity for the long-term success. That's critical. See, now we talked about leader. Now we have to see about the strategic leader. CFO as a strategic leader. See, the CFO is earlier called as a guardian of numbers. Now he is no more a guardian of number. Actually, he is the architect of the enterprise value. He has to give more value with respect to the strategy. If you ask me, without the CFO, no strategy meeting will happen, no business meetings will happen, because the CFO is the person, he is able to put number to whatever the strategic decision which everyone is taking. And any finance leader who is there, he will be part of all the meetings. See, because he is able to clearly give, if you take this action, what results it is going to give. Okay, see, he is able to influence the strategic decision. He will be able to tell where the capital has to be allocated, which business is doing well, which business is not doing well, where we have to put in the money. His time has to be spent more on that only. I would say 10%, 20% of the time can go on the existing or the past or whatever, but 80% of the time he has to spend only on the future, strategic, and how the capital allocation is happening. Only with that he has to do. Another one more thing, he should be good enough to balance both good. Actually, before becoming a CFO, 2.5, 3 years before, I was heading the business called Auto Chains business. It's turnover of 600 crores of turnover. And I had that business for almost around 2.5 years. I was a business head for that division. See, because being a finance professional, I was able to add more value to that business. I was able to understand the organizational issues. See, that business when I took over, it was almost 3 to 4% PBT percentage. That's the level it is. And when I leave it, it was around something like 11.5%. I was able to turn it around and make 3 times the profit in 2 years' time. The reason is the finance person will be able to understand the issues and numbers clearly. For anything if you give, you will be able to convert it to numbers. Suppose if efficiency is dropping, you can just go and tell the operating team and tell, see, this is the efficiency. If you run it at this efficiency, your profit will be like this. If you run at this efficiency, your profit will be higher. And you have to educate them where the cash is sitting. Suppose if somebody will not know about the inventory. See, inventory, if you keep on increasing in the books and increasing in reality, what happens is that the profitability will go up because cash is getting utilized. You have to educate them, keeping an inventory, having more credit days for the debtors and lesser credit days for the creditors, working capital management. If anything goes wrong, then it definitely will eat away the cash. If you are able to explain them, if you do this, you will be able to make profit. It is not that only by increasing the sales you will be able to make the profit. You will be able to make the profit by improving the efficiency also, even growth is not there during it's a tough situation. Growth is also important, I would say. So efficiency easily you will be able to make out if you are a finance person heading the business. That means what is that I'm trying to say is, this is my personal experience. And the finance person will be able to give, if you're CFO or any finance leader, any meeting, if anything has been thrown at you, you'll be able to tell this is possible, this is not possible, this is the way you can do, this will give you this much of money for the company. If you are able to provide that, then it is good for the organization to grow. I am saying 80% of your time predominantly goes only with respect to these items instead of rather than looking at the account schedules and other things. See, the account schedules or whatever you are doing on a regular basis, that you should be having a system in place, you should be having a good control in place. That has to be taken care automatically by the team below you at the lowest level possible. That would I would say. You should be having good system controls. Then if that is there, then you can just work on this. That's the way we have been cultured in our company and our group also. We are having a good team, we are having a good systems controls in place. That helps us to work on the strategy and other things. See, hence I would say if any one person who is able to balance the growth and governance, who is able to give clarity, that this will give money, this will not give money, means it's only a finance person, I would say. That finance leader is the only person who is able to understand. If you go to operations, he will tell about only his issues. If normal finance person will always say risk and he will always say this is a problem, everything. If a person is able to understand the operations, understand the business well, then he will be able to guide the company, guide the CEO to the profitable growth. Hence, I would say the CFO is the new center to the strategy and the transformation. See, now the world is too disruptive. I think you will all understand this. The reason is, in 2019, you all know we have COVID situation. Then after the COVID, what has happened? We have got a Russia-Ukraine war. Then now we are having a Middle East war is going on. We are not able to get the gas for our furnaces. We are finding it very difficult to do it. That means the world is disruptive. That is continues to be there. We cannot avoid it. Now we have to look at how we are going to do well in the disruptive world. That's what we have to look at it, because that is given. That's what I would say here. See, in the disruptive world, whatever I told you about this COVID and what all things that you are seeing, other than that, you are also having artificial intelligence. That's a new buzzword which is happening at this point in time. See, artificial intelligence, automation, digital transformations. In our company also, we are doing a lot of digital initiatives which we are doing. And cyber security, that's always there. You should be having a firewall in place, otherwise that will disturb you. And supply chain volatility. Today you will be having one metal available. The rare earth, if you take, that is not available. You have to procure in time. You have to secure if you want to secure your production, you have to secure your purchase also. These are all things which are constantly, which is there, that you have to be sure of this. And see, in that such a world, what is very, very important is you should be agile. If you are not agile, then you will not be able to succeed. See, I would like to say here, any organization if you take, whether it is small or big, the organization which are ready to accept this change and ready to move forward and ready to act faster, they only able to succeed. If any company who is not agile, not ready to act faster in these situations, they will fail. That's what I would like to say here. And another thing I just want to say here is that the leaders, generally, they have to foster the cultures supporting the experimentation, learning, resilience, and external turbulence. That is very, very critical. See, the culture we have to build in. It has to come from the top. It will not come from anybody low below. It has to come from chairman. It has to come from MD. It has to come from vice chairman. How they are treating their immediate subordinates, the same way only others also will treat. Okay, see, here in our organization, if you take the Murugappa group, is a long rooted in Tamil Nadu and other places in India. See, we have a clear culture that from the top, they will give responsibility to everybody. That is always there, and they give respect, they give responsibility, and they will be supporting for taking risks. If a top management is not supporting to take risks, the company cannot grow. Even if the failures, they will say, okay, what happened? Why it has been failed? They will come and ask, but they will not question you why you entered into. That's a good thing, good part of Murupa group also in this. See, if that culture is there, then it is very good for you, for the organization to grow faster. See, this technology, like I said, AI is going to come. It's always there. It's a buzzword right now. I would say the technology will not replace the human judgments or ethics or wisdom. That always be with us. That is, without us, it will not work better. So technology change is there, but human judgments will remain. See, for that only, I feel the governance is very, very critical and important. Okay. See, we are also into the acquisition mode. If you ask me, we are acquiring companies, almost around 2 companies in a year. For my direct company, YouTube Investments, or in my subsidiary companies, almost around 2 companies we are acquiring in a year. What we are seeing is that there is a total culture difference. The culture will be totally different in the companies where we are acquiring. What we are facing is we are able to make that profitable. That is not a big thing. But the thing is, the changing the people, changing the culture of the people, that is little difficult. The way they work and way we work, the way they are having a control systems and governance and way we are having control systems and governance, that is a little difficult. That's why what we have come out with is, we are having a clear SOP. If any company, if you are acquiring, what are the things which you have to do, like a DOA or any systems, any ERP systems or whatever you have to put in, how the culture you have to bring in there, disciplines you have to bring in. Discipline means it is not that somebody has to come in time 9:30 to office and sit there till 6:30 or 5:30 in office. The discipline means it's a financial discipline. If you are giving some number to the top management or to the investors, you have to maintain that. That is also is very, very critical. Whatever the numbers you are projecting, you have to do. That's a financial discipline. That's also important. So we are also bringing in the culture across all our subsidiary companies, for which we are taking the help of HR. We are taking sessions to them. It takes time, but it will not happen within 1 month or 2 months. It takes 2 years time for any company, once we acquire, to change the culture and bring it to us. And we are also putting some of our people over there. Say, for example, for finance and HR, most probably we will be putting our person, move from TI to those companies, and they will be the base for us, then after which we'll set right all the things and bring it to our levels. That's the way it works. See, hence, I just want to say here, the governance, we should not see it as a compliance requirement and regulatory burden. Actually, it is a strategic differentiator. Strong governance enhances investor confidence, strengthens stakeholders' trust, and significantly improves organization resilience. Ethical culture reduces long-term business risk far more effectively than control mechanism alone. I think I explained to you about this, our PE investors also sometime before, like how they are looking at the governance. Governance is very, very important. See, external world looks at the governance rather than the financial performance. That is of course it is required, but they look at governance the most. See, board and leadership teams therefore have responsibility to build cultures rooted in transparency, accountability, and responsible decision making. See, the transparency, what is it I'm just trying to say is, any investor calls which I am attending regularly, I am attending the investor calls, and many investors come and meet in person also. They always ask, see, last year you have done 12% PBT, this time you are doing 12%, will it be sustainable? Is there any growth possible? Like that, they will be having only 10% of the time only they will ask about the numbers. Remaining time they will talk about the strategy, full and full strategy, how you are going to go about. In 2 years time, which are all the new products we will be getting into. Whatever is the non-competitive information, we also will share with them. What happens after some time, 1 year or 2 years later, they will come and ask, 1 year before you have told us, this is the product you are going to get into. These are all the areas you are going to get into. Have you gone into? If you are really gone into, then the trust will build. See, investors, any FIIs or any mutual funds, if you take, they are all long-term investors. They will not just come for short-term gains. They see the leaders, they have a trust in the leaders, then only they invest. Hence, the governance mechanism is important, and if there is a trust on the leaders, then only they invest. Hence, this governance and trust is very, very critical to grow. See, hence, here I just want to emphasize, I think most of you are from internal audit also. I would like to emphasize the growing importance of the internal audit here and assurance functions. See, internal audit should not work only on detecting errors and detecting failures. They have to anticipate the risks. See, in the earlier session also somebody have asked question, what are the early warning signals? I would say that internal auditors should play that role actually. See, instead of finding fault, once the fault is found, then we will be able to set it right, we will be able to put the controls. But if you are able to anticipate, these are all things which are going to come in, because when you are in expansion mode, there is a chances of going wrong. That means if Intellinoid plays that role of anticipating these are all the problems which are going to come into, you have to put a control. Then it is good. It will be much appreciated. I think Intellinoid role will be more important to ensure the governance. If governance is there, then companies' face value will be much more. See, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to tell you that organization which integrates people, culture and systems only will thrive in the coming decade. That's very critical. Success comes from balancing performance with purpose, people with principles, innovations with integrity. I strongly feel that only empowered teams can drive agility, and ethical cultures must begin from the top. See, here I just want to add my experience also here. In Murugappa Group, entire team is empowered. Anybody can take the responsibility and do their work. In case if you are going to get a business, you are allowed to take the business. You are allowed to take the risk. That empowerment is there from all levels. I experienced this when I joined this company in 2000 as a management trainee. That point in time itself, I have been empowered to do whatever I want to do at that level. Nobody will question you if anything goes wrong. That's the reason why I have been staying that company for long, and I am a CFO right now in that company. So empowering team is very important. Empowered employees are very critical. That only the organization has to look at. If that happens, then definitely organization will grow. There will not be any issue in that. That's what I feel. And one more important thing is the leadership succession. That is also critical. The people, as I told you, the people is more important. The leadership pipeline also should be there. You should be having a talent development should be there. And if you don't do it, then you will not be having people to work with. See, I'll share my experience here. If any new young generation, if you take, they will not stay in role for more than 2 to 3 years. That you can just take it as of now. Earlier days, if somebody joins the company, they will retire from the same company. They will not look out for jobs. Nowadays, young generations are not like that. They come within 2 years or 3 years time, you have to give an opportunity somewhere else. If you don't give any opportunity, they will move out. Hence, what you should do, you have to have clear systems in place. Earlier, people-based controls are okay. Now, system-based controls are very critical. Hence, what you have to do, you have to have clear-cut systems in place. You should be having a control mechanism. Then you will be able to move the people from one place to another place. That is not an issue. If you move them, then they will be there with you for 6 years or 10 years or so. If you don't move, if you don't consider them, then they will just leave and join some other organization. Then it will be a loss for us. This is very critical that we are regularly practicing. More than 3 years, we don't keep any person in any place. We will just move them. Unless otherwise, they have a preference that I just want to work in the same place. Even if they are working in the same place, we just move internally at least to some other role, so that they will get trained and they will be able to grow along with the organization. And we also give a clear roadmap for them, because we are acquiring companies. We need finance professionals like anything. We are recruiting continuously. The first preference will be given to the employees who are there with us for a long period of time and they are efficient and ready to take challenges. Then we recruit people in TI as a fresher. That's the way we work, and that is very critical. See, hence I would like to say here, the culture is ultimately the strongest risk management. See, that is, if there is a good culture, I think in the earlier session also he has mentioned the culture is very critical. If culture is there, if people are not ready to make money by fraudulent means, then that is good. That type of culture only you have to bring in. You have to ensure their wealth, you have to ensure their salaries, you have to keep them happy, then they will be motivated and they will work. You have to keep appreciating them for the good works, whatever they are doing. So these type of things will help. See, one more thing I just want to talk about here is the power of collaborations. See, in the disruptive environment, if you work in silos, then it is a disaster for us, because what's happening we will not know. See, every department has to work together, collaborate with each other. The finance, strategy, operation, technology, governance, risk, compliance, internal functions. Everybody has to work together. They should not independently work in silos. If they work in silos, it's a disaster for the management, I would say, organization, I would say. Cross-functional alignment is very critical and important, that every organization has to look at it. See, as I going to conclude, I just want to give some 5 leadership principles to you for a successful institution for the next decade, how we can do. See, first, lead with integrity. Actually, the trust takes years to build, but moments to lose. That's what the saying is. See, actually, you have to align your values. You have to be transparent. You have to be accountable. If you are taking any risk, you should be accountable for it. That's what I was telling you when you are talking to the investors. You are saying something. Tomorrow, you have to say, you have to achieve that. If you don't achieve, then they will not have a trust. You should be transparent to the extent possible. Whatever the non-competitive information you can just share. If it is competitive information, you cannot share. Whatever you are sharing with them, it should happen. If it happens, then they will be happy and they will be with you. They will see the leader, they will see the trust, then only they will be with you. Hence, the integrity is very, very critical. That is the first point which I just want to say. Then second thing is stay curious. See, leaders must continuously learn, unlearn and relearn. See, what I am saying here is that you should not view mistakes as a problem. You have to see it as a learning. If you're taking any risk and because of it something happened, then you have to see it as a learning. That's what the leader should see. And third thing is balancing courage with the prudence. See, both has to go hand in hand. If you have a courage, you are taking some risk, okay, without prudence, then it is called recklessness. Okay, you only with courage you should not get into any acquisitions or anything else. Suppose you are doing prudence, but you don't have courage. That means what happens? Your company will never grow. You will keep on doing analysis. You will keep on doing risk analysis, whatever the financials you keep on putting, but you will not have a courage to acquire any company and grow the company. Hence, I would say the courage and prudence has to go together. You have to have a clear balance. Certain places you have to give up. If you are having an IRR of something like 25% in your mind, sometimes if something comes up, it is having 20%, you have to just give up. Because if you feel that there is a good growth opportunity happening after 5 years, if it is a good acquisition, you have to give up some financial parameters and acquire that company and grow. That's the way it should be. You cannot hold on to the financial parameters 100% and then not acquiring. Hence, I would like to say here, you have to balance courage and prudence. That's very, very critical. Then fourth one I just want to say here is build institutions, not just results. Sustainable organization only can outlive individual leaders. See here, I explained to you about the culture. That's what I'm just meaning it here. And fifth one is the people-centric leadership. You have to put people at the center. You have to empower the people. The empathetic leadership should be there. Whatever decision you are taking, you have to keep your employees also in mind and then take the decision. You should be giving a psychological safety also to the employees. They should not feel that if I take some risk and if it is not working out, what my boss will say. They should not have that thought. Okay, I have been allowed to take a risk. That should be the mentality they should be having. That psychological safety we have to give. That only will allow them to take risk. Okay, coming to the closing thought, ladies and gentlemen, the future will belong to the organization that successfully integrates strategy, finance, governance, technology and ethics into one unified leadership. In the coming decade, trust will be the defining differentiator. Hence, all organizations has to develop trust and they have to have good governance. They should be having a good systems and controls in place. Only those organizations will be able to grow and succeed in this disruptive environment. Before I conclude, let me convey my heartfelt congratulations to all professionals who are being recognized during this validity session. Your achievements reflect dedication, competence, and professional excellence. I wish each one of you continued success and bright future for all your endeavors. Thank you once again. I wish each one of you a great success.